Hello and welcome back to Tristão, where we built the big basilica, the big church cathedral in the center of this glorious city. And yeah, also people celebrated already. As we can see, there is an arts festival right now in the streets of Tristão. Really cool. Nice coincidence, by the way, that we have that just beside the cathedral there, the arts festival. This is giving me more attractiveness for Tristão. It also gives me the peaceful celebrations bonus and maintenance cost minus 50% of all public buildings. Well, isn't that nice? A nice little touch that we have there. This would really make sense. Attractiveness as well groomed and presented as a price cow Tristão has right now, because of course Tristão also has attraction bonuses and Tristão can also have tourists. And I think tourists is the keyword for this episode, as we're now pushing into the tourist sector beside Africa, of course, that we are going to finish soon. But tourists it is that I would like to unlock, because it's also taking quite some time to really establish, right? Let's build the tourist mooring for Tristão. There we have it now, the public mooring. And since we do have a nice attraction level right now, we should be seeing some tourists now coming in here. Perhaps even the people from Crown Falls. I mean, who really knows about that? And yeah, they have a nice entrance there to the city. Of course, every tourist that comes now into Tristão, well, they see that beautiful airship there, and in the distance you can already see the post office and the cathedral that we have, and we're also being greeted. There's no people here yet, as we can see, as there's also no ship that arrived for Tristão, right? So we just need to make a bit of advertisement, marketing this city into something, right? And you have beautiful beaches here, long avenues with palm trees, lots of friendly people, and beautiful, colorful houses. Now we already have tourists in Crown Falls, around 1,500 at the moment, that pay me 5,500 credits there. The tendency is slightly growing there depending on how many new monuments we add to the area. And yes, we can now open up this one to a tourist mooring. So this was a public mooring, and the tourist mooring basically opens up the tourists DLC that we can have for these people. And let's build it. There you go. It's looking a bit nicer. Tourists flock to city in droves. The recent unveiling of the spanking new tourist mooring has seen hordes of hungry holidaymakers stream into the city. And with that, we also open up the tourist quest.
Demanding lot, but
And the first tourists, we need to build a hotel, and we need to build bus stops for these jolly good people there that like to join my city. There we have it now. With that, the hotel we have now officially in the game, and I really do like to start with the hotels rather sooner than later, because otherwise we would have to, move around a lot of big buildings then again down the road. And we should probably build the first hotels rather here in the town center, rather where, there's something to see for everyone. So these hotels, well, just as it happens, they fit right into these blocks that I've already prepared there, and we might just go ahead and get us the first hotels then into these. Let's go ahead and destroy one of these blocks that we have there. We don't really need it. But of course, by the way, I could upgrade all of these jolly good engineers here to investors. I probably should also do this while we're at it. We do have the resources, and basically I do get more influence out of that. We need to be careful though, as my engineer workforce is rather low. So I will need to upgrade already some artisans there again. And these guys here, they would like to have a university before I can upgrade them. I think that's also the case for these guys down here. Yes, it is. Those here do need a university though. First, we do have a pub and a marketplace here. Let's get rid of that. We do no longer need that. I just love how we can gradually really remove these buildings and get us something new. What is happening there? Another smaller attack. Nothing that we should be worried too much about. If I lose a clipper, it's fine. Oh, the first tourists have arrived in Tristão now too, on this steamship. There we have them, a few of them, a couple of them, I guess. It's 1,000 tourists already. That's quite a lot, really. And that's 3,700 in addition that we get out of that. And with that, the first tourists are here. We don't have hotels yet for these tourists in Tristão, so I could also add this if I have the time and if my opponents actually leave me alone. Let's go ahead and build this hotel here first now. There we have it. It's looking great, and right here in the center, of course, of it all, right, it does get its proper entrance right here. A nice plaza, and we could of course add here some more city lights as well, or city ornaments that we have. For example, the clock houses, a telephone box. Why not? This actually fits right to an hotel that you should have right in front of it. And then perhaps a statue or something like that. Now, that wouldn't fit. I have an idea. We could have... Let's get rid of these houses there again. And instead, I would like to have my cherry trees. Because you know what? We have now unlocked these cherry trees here. With the public mooring, with the tourist mooring finally to the area, and just fitting in really nicely there. This, of course, well, is not really happy yet. We do need a bus stop in order to provide. So let's go ahead. We do have a post office here, but I think we do have, yep, this big central post office already. So I can get rid of this one, right? It should not hurt us anyway, right? Yes, we can see the range is huge. It really goes all the way up here even. That's beautiful, this central one. So we have a bit of space now for, yep, a bus station. So let's go ahead and get us this bus station right here as well. There you go. It is taking the theater into account. It also has the hotel, of course. Not that much else though. We might, oh yes, very good. We could have a bus station here by the central, by the Great Exhibition then, right? So we do have a bit of space here. Let's do this. There we get the next one. Perfect. And now what we need though still is we need to build the other bus stations in the area of this one, right? So there we have one, for example. There's still a bit of free area that we can use. And then we go all the way down here. There is a park, but I would rather build it along the main roads, right? So it just makes more sense to me. So just here beside the bank, we could also get rid of some of that area and instead have then this bus station there that we can squeeze in nicely. And then we need one more bus station here by the tourist mooring itself. And I think we could have it for now right next to it. And with that, as we can see, the bus network has been established. We now have one bus network that goes all the way up here to the hotel. And what we can also see is now that some fulfillments are coming in. Oh, this hotel meanwhile actually crumbled. How dare you? Now it's getting its public mooring or tourist mooring there though in, right? So the first tourists are now moving in. They didn't take it last time, it seems. So we could still save this island most likely. That I could try in the Arctic. Because it was already attacking it once. Alrighty, so the hotel now has its demand. As we can see, the first tourists moving in. And as we also can see, the next things unlocked then. For example, the bread pretty soon. And then also the theater or the boxing arena. The theater is right next to it. Very good. Then we have the restaurant, right? With 250 tourists, we don't have that yet. There's the bread unlocked now. Perfect. As more and more demands are being met. Also, for happiness sakes, we got the fur coats. That's easy. The jewelry should be easy then too. We don't have a zoo yet, and the docklands, that's easy as well, as we have the docklands rather central there as well. Perfect. So as we can see, this is now unlocking more and more, and people should be happy that are moving into this hotel here. And what a nice location, really.
Who knew you had such a flair for the audacious?
For this majestic building. And as we can see, lots of people already there, and the bus that is also just passing by and popping off again. But once again, I'm also getting ahead of myself. We do still have this area here where I would like to squeeze in the university. Now, the artisans also require the school, unfortunately. However, as we can see, we could move the school a bit further into this area and it would still be totally fine, opening up more here. We have the police station. I would like to have the police station a bit closer there to the fire station that we have. It just makes more sense this way, righto, like that. We probably should have another smaller entrance than to that one here. And then we can have now the university here. And this is just fitting a bit better, I think, overall. Over for these whole people there. You know what, since it's a bit too close to the Anno University, I'm actually moving around here a lot of things right now. We are actually going to have the fire station over here together with the police station along the main road there. I think this just fits a bit more. We can now have, instead of that, then have another block of houses there, right? And I would probably like to have the university then here, because that should still be able to reach all of these people there. These guys here do have university coverage anyway. And that is still very close, so the university should be then probably here somewhere. There you go, and there is another university now over here. We do have a bit more space now that we could use for some smaller parks or perhaps for some service buildings. As with the tourists, we've also unlocked now the restaurant then pretty soon, right? So we do need another hotel, and then we can unlock the restaurant, and I might just have one of these here, or I'm actually moving. Oh, thank you, Hugo, there for the gift. How very generous of you. We could actually move some of these buildings over there and build then the restaurant here. Now, speaking about the hotel, I would like to have a second one in order to unlock us more things. And I have the perfect idea where we should have it. I call it the Hotel Belvista. And why is that the case? Basically because we're going to have a beautiful view over Crown Falls with this hotel. Let's just get rid of this road there as we don't need it. And I think now there's of course the tricky thing. How should we build it, right? Because this is theoretically the main entrance, but it's also looking like it's looking towards the city. This one is looking like it's looking away, but of course it's the back entrance. So let's make it a compromise and build it like so, right? So people actually have a beautiful view over the city from everywhere, from this wing here, from a central wing, from this whole wing there. And of course, this wing, perhaps not the most beautiful view yet, but there's of course still something missing up there that is coming at some point. So let's go ahead and do it like so. There is also the connection now. Of course, this one still needs a bus connection. So let's once again have a look where we do have our buses. We already have the bus here. So there we can have our next bus station here, right in this corner center there, right? So, yep, there is the connection with it. And then we need one more bus station up here. And that could actually be right in front of the hotel. Yeah, I cannot combine whatever is coming up here with that bus station yet, right? So we could have it like this one right in front of the hotel. There is the bus station for it. And as we can see, there's already the bus with it. These guys have it now, right? And they're also, as we can see, are getting the fulfillment. However, I will need more theaters if I want to keep them happy. So I do need to look out where we could have more bus stations for the theaters, or where we have more theaters at all. I don't think we have that many. There is one that I could use. And there is another one that I could use. And the cool thing here is we do actually have a bit of space. So I could move the fountain up into this area. And then I could have another bus station here. And this is actually affecting the theater there. And we also have a marketplace and a pub that I actually don't need in this area anymore. So boom, there we have more space for something. Probably then once again a restaurant or something like that. And down here we have the docklands. Now they are going to be an attraction as well. So I might just have the bus station there right away. These guys don't have a connection yet though with the massive, the central line. As we can see, there's still something here, a gap, and there's a gap here. So I need to kind of like connect them as well. And there's probably a nice location just here. If I move this one like so, we could move the... it's close. It's close. I could get rid of this road there and have these houses up here. This actually looks okay. Yep, this actually looks perfectly fine. And then we have the bus station just here. And with that, we should have it now connected. There you go. Perfect. They now have the theater in their vicinity or in their area. Also, the docklands have been activated now. That we really have everything together with that. Of course, there is some area around it now where we do have some space. And here, for example, we could have these maps available for the tourists, of course. So tourists like maps. Right, we could have something here. A little stand, and then around it a nice pavilion. Does that pavilion there? A kiosk. A kiosk makes sense. Right here in the center. Perfect. Look at point. Perhaps not the most useful thing. Then we have luggage. A tree. Oh, trees I think fit in nicely here. There you go. Of course, a souvenir shop might be very, very interesting here as well. Let's actually move this one over there. And then I will just pave the rest with normal pavings on the ground. This one. Fantastic. There we have a nice little plaza right in front of everything. Actually, wait a second. This one I'm moving over there. That's looking much better. Perfect. And also these people can enjoy now their day waiting for the bus right here in Crown Falls Center. Now, this hotel still isn't really decorated. There's also, it's not really the most beautiful area, of course, right? As we have workers surrounding it, worker houses. But for now, it should do the trick. Let's just decorate this one to our liking there. So a few more trees right in front of it. Over here, we actually do have a bit of room for perhaps a lookout point. I think this is really cool. As with that, people can overlook the city. Right? That fits in there nicely. We could also have a kiosk. A kiosk right in front of hotel. I'm not so sure about that. But a souvenir shop, nah, let's not do that. Let's not go over the top here with that. I could have some more trees in order to decorate it, but that's probably the end of it. And then we have some empty ground here, where I could just have... Oh, Leary has a fire right here with the commute pier. So I do need to go ahead and let's just spam us in there, right? A fire station. There we can have one. And there we can have one. I need to quickly get rid of that. Oh, we have some riots here too. That's probably one of the reasons why we have these fires. People can be so sensitive sometimes. Let's build us two police stations. One here and one over here. Very good. And some trees around the hotel there as well. Kind of like block it off then from its surrounding area. And there we have Hotel Belvista. Now, a single riot actually has huge impact on our workforce, and of course the commute pair not being active is also adding to that, but I will still need to increase the size of Leary there by all means, because of course we need to upgrade more people in Crown Falls, and with every upgrade in Crown Falls I do lose my workforce more and more. So let's go ahead and also expand this city area there with more houses. Now, as we can see, 2 hotels is still not enough to get us the needed population of tourists that we need to unlock the restaurant. So I would need to have a third one. Now, for the third one, I would like to have the harbor area this time. So we already have one for the center. We have one Belvista that is overlooking the city. And then we might have one now for this area here. Of course, I could just spam these hotels right next to each other and it would work just as fine. But who really likes that? Now, let's go ahead and get us the next hotel. And here in the area, and as we can see, there's already a bit of space here that I could use. Unfortunately, with the bus station, it is a bit tricky. I will need to have another bus station then for this one, but well, you can't help it, really. There we, by the way, also don't have paved roads yet. This is something I should definitely avoid, that my tourists see dirt roads in the city area. Holy cow, that would be... I would be very, very ashamed of myself if that is really the case. So let's go ahead and have these guys here also be upgraded. Very good. And with that, I could now get rid of this block here. However, I'm of course not going to be that cruel. Let's get rid of that fire station though. We don't need that. Then I can have a few more blocks here. Oh, wait a second. Even better. This one was already bothering me for quite some time there. And now, problem solved. Just like that. And then we have just a few more houses here. This is also going to look a bit more organic than I think than before. These guys here, let's get rid of them. Who cares? And then we have another hotel in all its beautiful colors. Well, let's make it deep blue. We didn't have that yet. Just right here. I like that the hotels already have some nice decoration in front of it. Right, so we can really just build it there and it's looking finished right on that. There is a bit of space now here. We could squeeze in the bus station right behind it. Could make sense, really, right? So let's go ahead and do this. We have the bus station right behind it. There's the people coming out the bus station going right to... this is actually not looking so great then. Let's not do it like that. Let's have another entrance then here. And then we can just finish the rest here with some more decorations on either side. And I think we have unlocked, yep, the next tiers of tourists there. Perhaps also a kiosk right over there. And a signpost showing those people there's the hotel you want to go. And over here, there's so many nice decorations everywhere. Silk, it's just that ship passing by again. It's nothing to worry about. There you go. Perhaps this would actually be once again a very nice location for a restaurant. Let's have a souvenir shop instead. And some tables to sit on as well. As we can see, there's also some tables here by the restaurant, so it kind of like all fits to the restaurant that we have over there. This one gets now everything there as well. And as we can see, the restaurant finally has been unlocked together with Jam. Now for my first restaurant, this one is a nice location that I've already cleared because there's also a bus stop right next to it. So we can combine that, also a theater. There we have it. The restaurant uses recipes to satisfy the customers right here in the, well, actually it's a very good location there. Not so far away from Central Station, from Central Park, and not so far away from the Docklands there if people want to visit that. Yep, let's actually go ahead. I think this would be the perfect location there for it, like so. And then we have perhaps a nice smaller park around it or something like that, right? If we have it like so, this is better. This just fits more into the general theme of this place there. And then I could also, for example, since this is a tourist area, of course, I could have another souvenir shop then right here for my people, and then some trees to separate this one from them. And then in the back we could have, yeah, something that looks a bit more beautiful, like for example a fountain, fountain, this one.
Workforce transfer disrupted.
Once again my workforce transfer is disrupted. We need to look out for that as well.
Workforce shortage.
And then another smaller park, so people that actually can sit here can just also enjoy some trees. And what we now need to do as well, we need to select a dish for the restaurant. We only have one at the moment available, the Archduke's Schnitzel. Let's have a look at that. And this one here is popular with locals. This homely dish may underwhelm with the casualness of its presentation, yet for tourists it may well be the first choice on the menu. Now let's just see what it does. It requires pigs, potatoes and tallow. Now pigs and tallows we have plenty of. Unfortunately, potatoes we don't have that much anymore. But I think we should still have the... No, we don't. Alright, we don't have potatoes yet. And it also has an effect on all the residents in the area, not only tourists, and that is some more happiness. And also it reduces the consumption of bread, fish and chocolate for people in the surrounding area. So let's choose this recipe. Now, what we really do need is potatoes. There is no potatoes here. I also don't have any schnapps distilleries on Crown Falls anymore. Getting potatoes here with the Docklands is possible because we have a lot of trade contracts available again. I might actually do this one, even though of course it's not ideal. I could have potato fields somewhere else, but let's just do it like that. And I think this will be plenty of potatoes that are coming in with that, right? So we will not need more than that just for that one restaurant. Let's just check this one. As we can see, it has a huge range, so all of these guys have reduced consumption and increased happiness then as well. How very nice. And another thing that I just realized is we also will need, of course, a warehouse. So I'm going to move now some of these houses there a bit further up. I'm going to move my school a bit further up because I think that school here... We need that school there. This one... Do we actually need the school there? I don't think so. Unfortunately, also the Docklands don't count as a warehouse. It would have just been perfect. So I do need to have a warehouse here in the back of this restaurant. It's fine though, as once upgraded they actually look pretty fine too, right here in the town center. And of course we should still have some separation there between the warehouse and the investor houses there, just to fill in the void. Perfect, there we have it now. All the resources should be coming in, then the raw materials, and our first restaurant is ready for serving schnitzel. Another very interesting thing is happening in Distant Forest. Now, of course, we do need Distant Forest for the jam then in just a second, the new product. But what I want to show here is that my champagne production is zero at the moment. Reason for that is the plantations we have, right? But they don't work at all if they have no tractor barn right next to them. So there's the fuel coming in, and we don't have fuel, well, basically because the oil harbor burned down. And just because of that, the whole production is suffering. Oh, yes, also the workforce problem still persists for way too long now. Now we have the riots, and now the riots also affected the commute pier. What is going on in Leary? People should be happy. They are happy. +8 happiness. Perhaps they don't like their working conditions too much. Let's just check it. Do we have any problem here? Not really. It's only the sand. Let's get rid of the sand then. So people should be a bit happier. We have enough sand production anyway. Way too much than what we can actually need or actually do need. right? So with the mobility boost here for both of my police stations, I hope that we can solve this crisis. Not having enough workforce is a huge problem for the whole world, really, and Leary is a very vital point of that. Now, while we wait for the workers to come in again, I would like to go ahead. As we know, we have the champagne production here, and this is actually, with the tractor barns, already enough for the whole city of Crown Falls, which is amazing to me. So if we boost this one over here as well, let's just do this one in blueprint mode. This will be enough for 2 Crown Falls, right? This will be enough forever. I will never need more than that. So here in the back, we can have our jam production now in Distant Forest. And we do have quite a lot of space here as well, so I could have a huge jam production in Distant Forest. We, by the way, also have, of course, Leary that has a lot of space that I could use then as well for that. But let's start here in Distant Forest. And there we have the orchard. It really just needs some farmers. There is no special fertility attached to it. It produces every 30 seconds, right? We do need, at the moment, jam-wise, 1 per minute. So really not that much. So already 1 orchard would be enough. However, I'm going to build a few more of them, just so that we are on the safe spot. And they can build like a lumberjack hut, basically, right? And with that, we do have a couple of them here, together with a warehouse then. Let's actually use paved roads here, so transportation times are minimal. And that's basically it. Let's build the warehouse, upgrade it right away, and then we can build... Well, let's build 3 for now. There you go. And they starting now to plant, and then they will produce us the jam. We can then once again also choose the jam here. So they are part of the new type that we have with the tourists and then also with the skyscrapers. That is the multi-factory. So this is a factory that can produce several goods with just 1 building. And here we can now choose the jam. Later on, cherry wood or resin would be possible then as well. But it is jam for now. And then we only need a trade route that is going to deliver that. And perhaps we even have a ship that has still some space available. I think the champagne would be possible. So this one, it's not going to be that much champagne ever. Razor clam. So you're also now delivering then the jam from Distant Forest to Crown Falls. And this will be plenty for the few tourists that we already have in town. So far so good. A new production chain is coming up. More tourists will move in with that. And we see each other again in the next episode. Stay tuned.